Okay. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to Hard Hats and Heels. I'm Alejandra,
I'm Natalie.
and we're here to do a recap for the week of Women in Construction.
Wow. It was a busy week last week.
Right.
It was really intense. So,
Very busy.
how did you, if we were to say, like, what's your recap look like? I can tell you mine, but I want to hear yours first.
Okay, so I love it.
Yeah.
I was very tired at the end though, but I love it. I love the way that we connected with the people that are supporting us right now, having like being able to create that room and bring all those people together. And that more people in that showing up than what we expected.
Right.
So it was really good.
Yeah, no, I think it was an amazing turnout. So we kicked off with the luncheon, right? And the luncheon probably by far was my favorite. Just because the awards, the people in the room, the energy in the room, like everybody wanted to be there.
Yes.
And at the end, nobody wanted to leave.
Right.
Which is interesting because our food didn't come out on time.
Right.
And
We
it
had
was
a little hiccup
right.
with that.
We had, which didn't matter though because that was the smallest part of it, right? Because people were genuinely engaged, like with the pictures and everything. But kind of let's dive into what happened at the luncheon, right? So we had two mayors, not one, but two.
Right, two. Major Kevin Anderson was with us and he gave us a proclamation. And then we had Yvette too.
Yep, Yvette
The
Garza.
speakers.
Galarza.
Yep,
Yep, Yvette Galarza, very inspirational.
Yeah, very inspirational.
Right.
She has so much experience and to share with everybody.
Yep.
It was beautiful. And then we had me.
Yeah, you? Yes.
Me talking about the group and what we have done so far and what's the plan for the future.
Right.
And then we have Kevin John Gunter.
Yep.
Giving us like the closing notes.
Closing, yeah, he gave us a closing notes, and he's
And
the
you did
mayor.
the awards.
I did the awards,
Yes.
and John Gunter, he's
John
the
Gunter, yes.
Cape Coral
Cape
mayor,
Coral
right?
mayor, right.
Okay, so you have City of Fort Myers mayor and the Cape Coral mayor, both there in support,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Amazing time.
And then not only that, but like we have so many people from the community supporting us. A lot of community leaders. We had Jennifer Lastra come and join us from Cape Coral.
City Council.
Yes.
Michelle
too.
Yep.
Lisa came too. She's running, I think, for council right now.
Yep.
There was a lot of people.
So there were a lot of heavy hitters in the room, which it wasn't surprising, but it kind of threw me back how many heavy hitters were in there and how excited they were to be there and just like network. Because I remember after, you were kind of being pulled in every direction, but someone would come up and just be like, "Hey, how are you?" Like when I tell you, it was like the most unorchestrated. Like you didn't have to force the networking. It was a natural. Like I like your energy. What do you do? Who are you? Like like just an exchange, which was amazing because it's really hard to curate those kind of spaces, right? But it was I think it was a very intentional. And the people who were there really supported the mission of what you're doing with Southwest Florida Women in Construction and Construction, right?
And I think that we are being a magnet for a lot of people right now that are looking for a new way to connect with the community, a new way to see what's going on, and the support that we are getting is huge.
Right.
I mean, I do understand construction is a big deal.
Right.
And
especially
the industry,
here.
Right.
Yeah, especially here.
Florida. So knowing that these people are watching, that these people are paying attention, that we are being able to put this visibility in our members is really good, especially for people that are starting, especially, that they don't, if we didn't create those rooms, they will never have the opportunity
to have access to that, especially in one place,
to have that influence, to have that opportunity to sit down and talk to somebody like the major, like just to listen to you and to ask questions of who you are. Doris was telling me that she said she was 7 with Kevin, and that he was asking her like how many brothers you have, because she told me she came from a big family. So creating that opportunity for this woman in the industry, it gives us at least an advantage of confidence, I will say.
Agreed. But it's also a relationship builder, right? Because one of the key things in our industry is about relationships. So as we start to span out of your residential work and you try to get into commercial, you try to get into some of these government, local, city, municipality work, you need to have relationships. So it was if you're not showing up, if you didn't show up, you really missed out on a great opportunity to develop relationship with key leaders in the community who can actually help you move forward and help grow your business, right? Because it's a direct incentive to be able to not only one, have someone in a community who has a small business, but what we create with small businesses is we're creating jobs, opportunities. If we build a house, we're creating a way for a lender to actually build, be able to collect mortgage money, right? Now the lenders, so it's kind of a whole system that people just don't think about how important it is to be in rooms like that.
Right. That's absolutely right.
Well, I loved it. I think Tuesday was definitely by far the most exciting, full energy event. But then we jumped. Okay, so you were talking about the awards that you gave out, right? Well, I got to present, so thank you for giving me that opportunity.
You did really good too.
Thank you.
It's really fun.
I like to pretend I'm an MC sometimes, right? But so the women in the leadership group all received this amazing award that our very own Rosa created, right? With this beautiful poem in the back, which also represented us as women and how strong we are. It was a very beautiful poem.
Fun tip.
Okay.
A lady from our community wrote that poem for us.
Right.
Rosa was doing she had a table for Dress for Success, for an event that Dress for Success did.
Okay.
And they were sitting next to each other. And Rosa told her about the awards and told her what she was working out, and she said, "Will you write us a poem?" And the lady wrote her a poem, and this is the poem that we put on.
So this was written for us.
Yeah, it was specifically for us.
No, see that Maggie, I believe her name was Maggie. Yeah, Maggie was amazing, and I remember that because my mom's name is Maggie. But she was very sweet. She had a very sweet smile and heart about her. But this was one of the awards. It's a woman instead of a woman with a hard hat, which I thought was amazing. And then you have...
And it has a moss, which
is Rosa's thing. Yep, Moss by Danis, which is amazing. It's a beautiful piece.
A beautiful piece, yeah. Very unique up too. So.
Absolutely very unique, right?
And
then I got a little crafty, right? And we presented these shovels with the Southwest Florida Women in Construction engraved in here,
right?
And we presented these to the community leaders who have been in the background helping us, right? Yes. So, and tell me a little bit about when you created the concepts, because you thought about, like, I'm going to give awards. What made you want to give awards to the community leaders? Like, what was your thought behind that?
So these are people that have stepped up to help us in many ways. Okay, so we have Michelle there. Michelle opened her arms for us at the CRA. She put together this amazing event, and learning about her story and what she brings to the table, and her representation as a woman in a very industry that is very heavy, and her being able to be the president of the entire state of Florida for the CRA associations, that's a big deal.
That's amazing, yeah.
And
CRA stands for Community Redevelopment Association, right? Okay.
Yes. And we just wanted to be able to say thank you, but to recognize her in front of the community so they can see she's putting her part inside their group, and she's investing her attention, her time into helping us develop something better for our community. So that was the idea behind it. We had Ella has been very connected to our community, helping me develop the backbone of what is going to be our directory. And then we have Laura. Laura.
All of the
Laura
socials.
is the backbone of all of us.
Like you would not see us if Laura Aldana was not there, right? So, she taught us all to pull our cameras out.
Right. So who else was there?
Talisha Farber.
Talisha with Sonkos, they have been amazing with us.
Yeah.
Very welcoming. They have helped us create these opportunities.
Right.
So She Builds Wealth was all hosted by them, and they did a great job.
Right. Absolutely.
And it's something that, when I think about it, is something that is not only. We have such an amplifier voice, I guess, that we are being. It's not only about construction at this point.
Right.
It's about women. It's about business owners. It's about connecting. It's about creating the ecosystem that we have been talking about for some time now. So we wanted to recognize the people that have stepped up and have gone above
and beyond
we were expecting.
And it does seem like just seeing and observing kind of how everyone who is in what do we call it, like an advisor, right? Yes. How invested they are in the community and making sure that we push forward and that we grow and helping us create opportunities, not just telling us, hey, this is what you can do or this is what we maybe can do, but they're also showing up for those opportunities with us to say we stand with you, which is huge because to your point, it's not just impacting the construction, the women in construction, but it's kind of a well-rounded machine of everything, right? So that's awesome. No, I really love that.
When you are supporting us as women in construction, you are supporting your community. Because we are making sure that we are creating spaces and events that are only beneficial for us as construction, as women in construction, but as women in the community. And also we are creating a pathway to be able to help these other organizations that also are working like Dress for Success, that are working with the community, that are working with the women in our area, in our zip codes, you know,
creating opportunities for them.
So we are being able to connect all these dots, and I think that that's one of the reasons that we have been accepted the way that we have.
Yeah, and because it's rapid growth. You guys started last year
on August,
first right? Event. I mean, so someone coming in, someone who signs up on our Facebook, joins our Facebook group, and this is one of the things that I always see is I'm like, I wish they would get very involved. Don't just click the follow, right? But get involved, have conversations because you are missing out on so much opportunity for real connection and real opportunity because we really are trying to build a strong foundation and it's an ecosystem, like you said, it's a web, and an ecosystem only serves you if you participate in it. You can't just exist, right? You have to participate, and I think that was that is again kind of, if I had to surmise what Tuesday's event was, it was people actively choosing to participate, and it was an amazing event. No, I loved it. Yeah, took us through a blueprint. Lesson, which was very informative, right? So I found it as a GC, even for me, there were tips and tricks that she was showing me, like that I was like, oh, I've been looking for this because we don't all necessarily go through the same traditional channels of you go to university, you're doing engineering or you're doing, you know, you're picking a major that actually teaches you this stuff. So a lot of times as women in construction, we kind of fall into the trades, right? We don't have that educational background on, okay, this is how you read prints. And if you talk to most tradespeople, period, they'll tell you, well, I learned how to read prints on the job.
On the job, right.
Right? So to have that opportunity where she came in, we had a great group of how many?
Or if you're in a trade, you only learn how to read the blueprints that comes with your trade.
Your trade.
You don't dare to get out of that. Of that box, right? Which is what happened to me when I was in the table, because the girls were like, oh yeah, because this is that, and I'm like, I didn't know it was that,
right?
You know? But I'm the one reading and quoting my jobs,
right? Because you know your scope.
I know my scope.
But anytime we get bids, right? It's you go to the page or online because nobody's really flipping, but you go online and you click to drop to your page and you go straight for your page to kind of figure out because you don't want to. But this is where errors and omissions, you can really manage that risk of making an error or not catching something because you know how to read the full scope of the plan.
And it was really one of the girls came back with a great feedback, and she was saying that when she got home, she was looking at the blueprints and it made so much sense after the class.
I love that.
You know, so that was like, that's inspiring. I love creating these rooms in these classes specified for construction, because I feel that even if you know how to do that, it was a good reminder, right? In these rooms, make us realize what is coming after, right? What do we see in the room that we are going to need in the future? What will be something that we can touch that everybody will benefit from it?
Right.
So it's not about just doing events. It's not about just creating these rooms. It's about creating the ecosystem that is going to sustain each other and keep building.
On that.
On that, yes.
No, which is true, because like I think of even talking to Jackie about it, right? It reinforces the power of collaboration, because when we were all sitting at that conference table, it was almost like we got a set of plans, because it was a mock plan. We got a set of plans, and it felt like this is what it would feel like if we as a team were leading our own project, if this were our project, right? And I'm looking at Jackie like, hey Jackie, okay, what about, what about that landscape plan? Like, you got me on the landscape, and Veronica's telling us how she knows, like, she's like, girl, I could do my own energy calcs. I'm like, girl, I've been paying for those energy calcs for years. Like, what? So just to be able to have everyone have their specialty and be able to kind of say, well, oh, I've got that. Like, you already, like, in my mind, naturally, I'm thinking, okay, well, when I get a job, I know I'm immediately pushing this to her. I'm immediately, because they work proximity.
That proximity that you are creating
is amazing.
Right? That relationship that you are able to feel confident the day that you call Jackie and tell her
I know she knows her stuff.
Exactly.
I know she knows her stuff. And that's the thing too, right? Is that relationships, again, right? When you talk about projects, bidding out projects, low cost, low price, yes. I know they're always looking for the lowest bidder, but sometimes low bid doesn't always win, especially when I know that your performance is there. Right. And relationship is what really guarantees and puts a stamp on, okay, I know you're going to perform because I'm going to see you next week at something. So you're not going to show, you know what I mean? So you build that rapport that allows you to go, I'm confident that if I give them this job, it's going to happen, versus someone who just submits a bid that I've never met.
Which is one of the inspirations behind the directory is that how many times as GC you heard people that say, this is remodelation of my bathroom, and the person came and quote me, and I paid up front, and they never finished the job, and they never showed up, or they didn't have insurance.
Right.
And so creating the directory was more to create something for a community that is not a big app, or it's like it's here, it's connected to your community. We're making sure these people are learning their stuff. They know the importance of having an insurance, or they know the importance of, or they know how to deal with government contracts, or are you a woman-owned business, are you certified? So we are teaching these people to be smart business people at the same time that they're learning their stuff. They're getting prepared. Right. So you are going to, as a community, you're going to end up dealing with an
actual professional.
Exactly.
Right. Like the true definition of a professional, someone who is prepared, who understands their scope and can execute. I think those are three very important components. Right. It's okay. It's easy to just say, yeah, I can do this. Right. But that preparation, that execution has to also follow that. Right. So I love that. So then after that, CARP on Friday. I didn't make it to CARP. But so tell me about the tour.
So the tour was super fun.
Okay.
I mean, Marilyn did the tour, so we had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. She showed us her factory. She showed us how they are building these pieces. Okay. How they paint it to look like real wood, and the resistance of it.
What does CARP stand for?
So it's Creative Architectural Resin Products.
Okay, and so what are they designing at CARP? So what was this tour about? What were you looking at?
So they were showing us the factory. Okay, and how they process the resin to be able to create these columns and these architectural decorative pieces. How they paint it how they can paint it to all these colors, but they have this process that they do to it that it looks like real wood. Very detailed. They have a lot of different samples, I guess.
Okay. Yep. Lots of samples. Yeah, no, I get it. Because I think from what Marilyn's always told me is they have a variety of products that they can make, all for exterior, all for but it's the fabrication of it that makes it mold resistant. You don't have to worry about it, right? So you're not worrying about a real wood that's going to expand and contrast. This is okay. So that tour was amazing. Yeah, it was. Which I did hear from a fellow GC. Yeah,
we laugh a lot. It's Marilyn. So.
Right. Exactly. Okay. And then we ended the night with.
And then so Marilyn gave us pizza. It was, okay. It was a very intimate group. Okay. Me and the girls had the opportunity for all of us to talk about different things, and it was very nice. Very nice. We had a really good time.
I love it.
And then
we ended the night at the Collective.
Right.
Downtown. Is it the Collective?
The Collective.
Yep, the Collective.
It's huge.
It's a plumbing showroom, I'd say, right? It's a fixtures. They sell, They have, actually, they're beyond, because Stephanie, the salesperson there, was telling me, she was like, by the end of this, we'll have everything. The only thing we won't do is like cabinets, I think she said.
Yeah, they're saying that they're expanding.
2,000 square feet behind, but they've got some amazing shower fixtures, amazing, like their collection of handles was just beyond it. Like I have so many, the toilets, I've never seen so many fancy toilets in my life. Right. There was the singing toilet. Yes. Right? Then there was the toilet with the massage features. Right. Everyone, if you've never been to the Collective, you have to go to the Collective by Hughes, downtown, check out their showroom, ask to go to the bathroom. Yes. You will thank us for it. Yes, you will thank us for it. But no, that was a great one, and that was hosted by our own, again, Christine Castillo, who put on, she's our resident plumber, right? So she co-owns a plumbing company, Integrity Plumbing Solutions. Yep. And they had drinks and wine and charcuterie.
Yeah,
right?
It was
great turnout as well.
Yes.
Because by the time I saw the pictures, I said, "Oh, there was way more people here by the time I got there."
Yeah.
So that was
we
a
had
great
some
evening.
Wine and we had
great conversations.
Yes.
And again, it's not only women in construction, right? Because Marissa was there. Like, I had a great conversation with Marissa. There were a few other people who weren't necessarily in construction that were there.
Jolie was there with cybersecurity.
Yep, Jolie was there. I saw Jolie.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there's
we had a good turnaround. Yeah.
And every time that I see these girls that are not part of the construction, I always tell them that it's important for them to see a connection that we have with what they have with the industry.
Absolutely.
Or the industry is so big and so wide, and then there's new things coming out all the time too.
But they're all interconnected too, right? Because I met Yoli at an event. Actually, I met Yoli at one of Jackie, her 4Jobs event.
Yes.
I ended up doing a consultation with Yoli about about transitioning to Microsoft, because you tell me that I can't be on Google and that I need to be on Microsoft. But like, I've had opportunities to connect with her, and then, this was the first time I've sat with Marissa, I've talked to her, but this was the first time that we kind of really got to hang out.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I love her energy. I was like, because the Cape Coral review, I was like, Chloe, can you come to Babcock and do the Babcock review? Like, I want to she's so amazing, you know what I mean? It's so amazing to have them show up in these spaces, but they also play a part, because construction is not just the work that we're doing there. There are so many pieces, from the marketing, the signs, the content that we do have to pull out. So we really do encompass, we touch many things to put out one product, which is pretty impressive.
And we are powerful. We are making a powerful statement when it comes to women in our community, and that's undeniable.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you had,
we are inspiring people, like I hear it from everywhere.
Right.
Like we have.
Well, we tell you that all the time. You don't like to hear it, but we tell you that all the time. Like, we're here because of your leadership and your decision to take action on a thought that you had, right? Your decision to move forward on just an idea is what created these rooms, right? And then through that, you got the support to help you carry it, which you don't have to alone. But we are very grateful that you had this spark of an idea, and you made it real.
Thank you for supporting me.
Yes, listen, I wouldn't have it any other way. We were destined to be together.
Right. We have the proof.
We have the proof, literally. So if you had to, kind of just wrapping up the week, right? It was a long week. It was a lot of activities. It was a lot of activities, a lot of back end work that was happening. What would be your one message to the 850 plus women in that group who maybe didn't have an opportunity to show up, didn't feel like maybe it was something worth showing up for, didn't give much attention to it? What would be the one message you have to them?
So I will say that they're missing out.
Okay.
Like, they're missing out by not being in their room. They're missing out by not being able to make the connections and to connect with the community in general. I see it on every room that we put together. There's mentorship happening in instant.
Literally.
Related with other people that are going through the same things that you are going through, and that understands that we put this heavy weight on ourselves as women in this industry to perform better,
right?
To do better. Because if not, somebody's going to turn around and say that we're women, and that's why that's happening. So being able to find that tribe it makes so much sense, because we, as a community, we are disconnected. There's so many things out there to help us that we don't know about. That's the one thing that I have learned since I started running this group, is that there's so many things outside. There's so many things out there that we could be taking advantage of, and to make us a better woman and better
business
professionals
owners,
and business owners, and we don't know it exists because we don't have the proximity to it. And we are creating that proximity. We're creating those bridges between different industries, in front of different ends of our community, the city, the region.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, you're getting like a call every other day, if not every day, about an opportunity that you're now filtering, because people see how quickly you've been able to kind of bring together this group, and they see the impact, right? It's not just, okay, this is another group where everybody just drops in. You have actual impact. There are actual things happening with that. Right? So that's pretty amazing, though. Like, you really should give yourself, pat on the back for that, because that's an impressive task.
I mean,
right?
I'm very inspired by the people that are around me right now. I'm very inspired, and I think that's where I get the gasoline to do it.
Gotcha.
Because I'm running my own business at the same time, but it is what it keeps me motivated. I'm very passionate about it, and if you have 3 seconds to talk to me, you realize how passionate I am.
Right.
So So yeah, I'm very grateful for everybody. I'm very grateful for all the girls that are in the leadership team right now, that are helping us create these spaces, and just come and join us
and participate. And it was an amazing event. No, I loved it.